polished steel slicing across the ice can be measured in a split second. In that moment, success or failure is born.
I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, and I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord, can you feel it coming in the air tonight? Oh Lord, oh Lord.
For the skaters at this year's Masters, what is in the air begins a new season of competition. Past failures must be forgotten. A new competitive spirit is upon them now, and success will be fleeting. They must be aggressive in that eternal quest for perfection. At the age of 26, Russia's Maria Buterskaya must have felt her competitive years were past. Repeatedly on the world stage, she failed to win. But in Helsinki at the recent World Championships, Maria became the oldest woman to capture a singles crown. It seemed that Kwan would always win every time she touched the ice. But in Finland, small mistakes placed her second to Buterskaya. Tonight, she has a second chance. Eldridge has won every national and world title there is, except an Olympic medal. But his future is now, and the promise of the next Winter Olympics is calling. Russia's Alexei Yagudin holds 2 world titles, and at 19 he jumps in the same rarefied air as Michael Jordan. The ice is his best friend. These skaters and others have come to Green Bay, home of the mighty Packers. Many legends have walked in this Wisconsin city. Perhaps some of that magic will rub off on a select number of skaters tonight. It is in the air. Welcome to the Brown County Veterans Memorial Arena and the Masters of Figure Skating. In Titletown, USA, it is not the Packers that are the talk of the town tonight. It's the Masters of Figure Skating. Hello, everybody. I'm Tracy Wilson. Tonight begins our second year of coverage of our open series of competitions, which allow some of the world's finest Olympic-eligible skaters to compete up against the pros. Now, to accommodate both sides, the skaters will first compete in an Olympic-style short program and then a professional-style interpretive free program. And we will crown champions in the ladies, the pairs, and the men's. Joining me on tonight's coverage, Olympic silver medalist Peter Carruthers. And Peter, it's an impressive field of men with 4 world champions.
You can't ask for more than that, Trace, for sure. And the one to beat is Alexei Yagudin, the defending world champion. Now, last season, he won 9 out of his 11 competitions. Yagudin is the only man trying the quad here. As a matter of fact, we saw him working on another quad jump to add to his repertoire, showing that he doesn't rest on his laurels, and that was in practice. Then there's 28-year-old Todd Eldridge, who has to try to chase Yagudin down. Todd has always been consistent. However, with Yagudin out jumping him, Todd is really going to have to be on his game in order to take Yagudin out in this short program. What a setup.
Great setup, Peter. Another great setup in the ladies. Joining us to talk about that, Olympic silver medalist Rosalind Sumners. And Roz, this is the first time since the World Championships that Maria Buterskaya has gone head-to-head against Michelle Kwan in competition.
And what an exciting time for both Maria and Michelle. A lot of changes and transitions happening in their lives. Michelle is finding room in her crazy schedule to concentrate now on furthering her education. She's at UCLA, which she said is very hard. She's moved away during the school week from her family and Lake Arrowhead, and she's changed her ice time and training routines. Maria, she's now carrying on the responsibilities of being a world champion. It's a real high and boost to her ego, and it's really showing on the ice. But she knows Michelle is not going away. You know, when I was in the same situation with Katarina Witt in 1983, I knew she was determined to get her world title back. And this will definitely keep Maria looking over her shoulder, I guarantee you.
Well, with more on Maria Buterskaya and Michelle Kwan, let's join the newest member of our broadcast team, Dee Lynham.
Thank you, Tracy. You know, when you talk about the changes in both Maria and Michelle's lives, it means they are also both experiencing new things. Michelle Kwan, as a UCLA student, finds herself some mornings rolling out of bed, putting that baseball cap on just to get to class on time. Other times she looks at the clock and sees it's 2 a.m. in the morning and she's still in front of her computer trying to get her homework done. Maria has a new apartment in Moscow, and she is fresh off the longest vacation of her career. She gave herself 2 months off after winning Worlds. You know, we are in Green Bay, and when visiting teams come to Green Bay to play the Packers, they don't just face the Packers, they face a whole city of Packer backers. Well, that's kind of how Maria feels when she comes to America to face Michelle Kwan.
Ну, я много и в прошлом году имела соревнования про
Last year, I compete a lot with her, and so I did my best to skate, but whatever I skate, America doesn't give me such an opportunity to win.
Как бы я ни каталась, мне Америка не дает выиграть у нее здесь.
I see Maria as a very great competitor, and I think it's good for me to have someone like Maria right there, because it sort of pushes you, and you know where you stand, and you always have to keep up with your skating. And you know, whenever I compete, it's pretty much like I've got to do my own thing first. And so I think it's good for the audience to watch. You know, there's this competition against Michelle and Maria.
Before the recent World Championships, Maria had placed higher than Michelle only once. That was in February 1996 in St. Petersburg, Russia. Maria's home field advantage of sorts. When we return, Alexei Yagudin, Todd Eldridge, and others will begin with the men's short program. The 19-year-old legs versus the 28-year-old veteran world champion Todd Eldridge. The men's short program is next. The men are now on the ice preparing for their short program. Once again, an Olympic-style program. Peter, let's take a look at the required element.
Well, this short program really has turned into a jumping contest with 8 required elements. A double or a triple axel will be performed, a triple or a quad, jump combination, a flying spin, a spin camel or sit spin, a spin combination, and then 2 step sequences.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Canada, Kurt Browning.
First on the ice for the men's short program. 4-time world champion, 3-time world professional champion. From Canada, here is 33-year-old Kurt Browning. You'll recognize the music, An American in Paris by Gershwin.
His biggest challenge, no doubt, in this short program will be his jump combination. He has planned the triple toe loop, triple toe loop. There's the first, and only a double on the second.
Kurt's second season with these open competitions. He said it was very difficult to go back to a short program again. It wasn't part of his daily training regimen.
But so far, handling the pressure very well. And look at the timing to the music. Look at the way he uses his upper body with that footwork. Exceptional.
It's a real challenge for him to skate against the younger skaters. He's not real happy with his arsenal of jumps. You know, he used to do the triple axel in the short program. And again, he likes the freedom of the interpretive program. He says the short program makes him feel squashed. It's very limited.
Touchdown on that spin. Well, Rosalind, you make a good point, but he likes the challenge because he says it elevates his technical side of the skating to compete against the young guns like Alexei Yagudin.
And, you know, as we've seen, the short program has always been Kurt's nemesis. He always feels like he has to come back from behind in the next program. The nerves really get him here.
Well, he will be relieved to have survived that short program. It is worth 1/3 of the total mark. So by surviving that, it will set himself up nicely for the interpretive program.
There's no deduction here. You can do a triple-double in combination. There's a nice triple off the top and a very easy double following it up.
And of course, footwork is Kurt's forte. Nobody moves their feet as fast. I mean, the change of edge, change of position, so quick. That takes so much control, so much timing.
He's got the best footwork in the world of men's figure skating. And look at the way he uses his upper body with the quick footwork. That's very difficult to do and stay so controlled. His head is perfectly still while doing it.
There will be 2 sets of marks for the short program. The first for required elements, and these range from 5.0 to 5.3.
The reason these marks are low is because his base mark starts lower because he doesn't have the technically hard jumps like Yagudin does a quad, for example.
Second set for presentation, 5 sevens across the board.
And that's the freedom of Kurt's skating.
And we will see more of that in his interpretive program because that is where he really shines. He is a 5-time U.S. champion and the 1996 world champion. Here is Todd Eldridge. And if you remember last year at this event, he outskated the reigning Olympic champion Ilya Kulik. He won this event. Music from the soundtrack of Cabaret.
What Todd Eldridge tends to do is really elevate his skating when he's under pressure and in performance, especially in competition. Huge triple axel. Nice low sit spin close to the ice. The judges like that because it involves more strength. Again, nice low position.
might compete at the Olympics in Salt Lake City. He will not compete at the national championships this year. He's trying to keep all of his options open, Peter, and decide, does he want to go pro? Does he want to remain Olympic eligible?
Hard to sit on the sidelines, but certainly delivering the goods.
The reason that Todd has so much strength in the short program is because he takes each element one at a time. It's usually the long free program where he loses his concentration and seems to get tired. Now, Todd can end up at the top of the short program and finds himself hanging on to that, whereas like a Kurt Browning can be low in the short program and fights to move up. Completely different, real different attitudes in competition.
But it's these spins that make him exceptional. Look at how fast the rotation is in one place. Great program for him.
Really high energy from the minute he starts the program to the very end. He does not let up.
From Chatham, Massachusetts, 28 years of age, Todd Eldridge.
Todd actually uses this triple Lutz combination as a warm-up for the bigger triple axel. He gets so much height. Again, very calm, very cool, and the coverage on this, again, just across as well as high. Nice landing.
Oh boy, when you talk about spinning, he really does that well. Look how low he is, so close to the ice. That takes a lot of leg strength, and how fast he spins, and then he stays right in one spot. When you stay centered like that, it creates more speed within the spin. Fantastic.
Todd there with his longtime coach, Richard Callahan, and here's his first set of marks for required element.
5.8.
Pretty strong marks. He's definitely set the bar. A good start for Eldridge in this competition.
Presentation marks range from 5.7 to 5.9.
5.8. 5.8.
Turning up the heat.
And there's nothing like feeling in a short program, hey, I couldn't have done any better than that.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Russia, Alexei Yagudin.
Well, he dominated men's figure skating last year, winning 9 of 11 competitions. Two-time and current world champion from Russia. Here is 19-year-old Alexei Yagudin. His music is a modern version of the Nutcracker.
The men can do quadruples as their jump in the short program. He definitely has it planned. He hits it about 80% of the time. It'll be the toe loop. It's the first one up. And he never holds back. Lots of speed skating into it. Here it is. The rotation about a half a foot off the ice. That's 4 rotations. Amazing.
Really leaning on that triple axel. Again, that's something we don't see him usually miss in practice. He has a very confident attitude all the time.
That Alexei did not win. He lost both times to Yevgeny Plashenko, his teammate. And although he's a two-time world champion, Alexei has yet to win the Russian national title. A lot of depth in Russian men's skating.
What great footwork he has. Use of the arms and the good changes of position. Right on.
Alexei Yagudin. Warm hand from this appreciative audience.
Well, you have to say that Todd Eldridge did all of the required elements. So at this point, if I were a judge, I'd have to give the required elements mark to Todd Eldridge. What happens with the presentation remains to be seen.
And again, Peter, when two skaters are so close, you have to really get picky. I actually felt Yagudin's program was a little slow. He actually felt a little tired. Now, maybe it's because he opened the program with a quad jump. I mean, this really can take it out of you. Amazing height. And don't you feel, Peter, when that's your first element, it's almost like you put all of your attention into one major element, another angle. Wow.
Well, beyond that, that's just incredible physical prowess. This footwork continues on. That's very tiring to do because the changes of position and the fast movement really burns your leg up quickly, or your legs up. But he has great control, very fast. Takes months to do that. And at 19, certainly knows how to work an audience.
Todd Eldridge came here wanting to compare himself with Alexei Yagudin to see if he was still in the game. We'll find out shortly how close they measure up. First set of marks will be for required elements, and what a range, 5.0 up to 5.6.
I don't quite understand how you drop down to a 5.0 with a quad jump, Peter. I mean, they really nailed him on the triple axel missed combination.
Well, it's not the quad, it's the other jumps that hurt him.
And look at the marks for presentation, 5.7 to 5.9, and Todd Eldridge has beaten the current world champion Alexei Yagudin in the short program. So Todd Eldridge finishes first ahead of Alexei Yagudin, Kurt Browning in third, and Brian Orser in fourth. Now let's go down to Dee Lynam.
Thank you, Tracy. Alexei, we're all waiting to see the quad because you're the one who does do it. You go out there, you compete, and you hit it. Just about your performance and making the quad the beginning part of your program.
Actually, for me, my season started so quick. I mean, I started like competing end of September, and I mean this all pro AMs, professional championships, they are like a practice before amateur competitions like Skate America, Skate Canada. So my first season when I include quad jump in my short program, but I thought it was going to be tough to do it in the short program, but now I feel that I skated already twice my short program, and I did all it twice quad tolo, but I missed another jump. So I think we need to rechange our program, maybe to put quad on the second place.
What are your chances in the interpretive free later?
Actually, I have the same chance to win like I had 5 minutes ago, so just we will fight and we'll see what will happen.
Artistic.
Yeah, for sure, artistic will win.
Alexei Yagudin pushing the envelope technically. Later in the interpretive, we'll see how his artistry stands up. When we come back, the pairs will take the ice for their short programs. It is an understatement to say that the Green Bay Packers have defined the word tradition. Their 12 championships are more than any other team in the NFL. The storied exploits of players like Nitschke, Starr, Gregg, Hornung, Taylor, and Favre need no first names for identification. And
And the name Lombardi will forever hold a cherished place in NFL history to define the spirit of winning for all athletes.
We're back at Brown County Veterans Memorial Arena. And Peter, let's take a look at the required elements for the pairs short program.
There are 8 required elements, and one of them will be a split double twist. You'll see a forward inside death spiral. The throw can either be a triple or a double, and then 1 footwork or step sequence.
Chinese pair team of Shen and Zhao warming up backstage for their interpretive free program. Let's take a look back now at their short program. Here's how Peter and I called it.
They have made a meteoric rise up the world standings in pair skating. 15th in the world 4 years ago. Last year at the World Championships, missed winning the gold medal by the narrowest of margins. 5-time national champions of China. Here are Zhao Shen and Hongbao Zhao. Their music is Stravinsky's Firebird.
What makes this team exceptional is the speed they gather while traveling across the ice, and then the great height that they get on not only the jumps, but the throws and the lifts. Solid start on those triple toe loops. One of those elements that has great height is this, the split double twist. Look at the delay, but a strange landing actually, not their best. Watch the coverage. She goes about 20 feet across the ice. Spectacular.
Said that their silver medal winning performance at the World Championships was their best skate ever. To try and move up into the top, they've really started to work on their choreography, has enlisted the help of Sandra Bezic, world-renowned choreographer.
Their timing looks a little bit off. The unison isn't quite what it should be. They are definitely strong, but they did not look as sharp as I have seen them in the past. Little bobbles, little problems with unison. So important in pair skating.
20-year-old Zhao Shen and her 26-year-old partner, Hongbao Zhao.
On the split double twist lift, I said there was a little strange landing. Now, the height is great. Look at the delay. That's exceptional. But watch how she just sort of almost collides into him on the landing. They've done that better, but no deduction. But this is unbelievable. Take a tape measure out and measure about 20 feet across the ice to absorb that impact on one leg. Amazing.
Their strength, Peter, is in the technical aspect of pair skating.
Definitely that is true. But they really have come a long way when you consider that their coach competed against me at the 1984 Olympic Games. And at that time, they really had no knowledge of pair skating in China. Look how far they've come. They've learned a lot of it through videotape.
Well, their coach Yagudin finished last of the competition. Peter, you were on the podium with your sister Kitty, finishing second. He now coaches the top 3 pair teams in China. And here's the first set of marks. These are for required elements.
But you can see, in spite of the lack of sharpness, still very strong marks on the required elements.
The marks for presentation.
Peter, the presentation marks range from 5.6 to 5.8.
All very solid.
5.6.
Now a team from the professional ranks. 1994 world champions from Russia, Yevgenia Shishkova and Vadim Naumov. Music from the summer of '42.
When he catches her, how lightly he sets her down on the ice. That's experience and many hours of practice. Go triple toe loop. You can see she struggled a little there, but she did hang on, no deduction. Very nice unison on the spins. Their spinning is excellent. Look at the speed of this spin, the change of position. A very smooth performance. And they've really kept their skating up there very refined, and that's because they've been together so long. Consider they won their world championship medal in 1994.
Well, they made it look effortless today. 26-year-old Yevgenia Shishkova and her 30-year-old partner Vadim Naumov, and they are also husband and wife.
They did land their side-by-side triple toe loops. It's tough for the judges to watch both skaters at the same time. 3 rotations. Well, actually, she struggled a little on hers, so it's questionable as to whether or not there's a slight deduction on her foot hitting the ice. Look at the rotation here and the unison. And their positions match nicely, which is something that weighs heavily in the judge's mind.
Two sets of marks for the short program. The first for required elements. And Peter, these range from 5.3 to 5.5.
Respectable marks, however, not the highest that we've seen. But a very solid team as far as the presentation score is concerned, for sure.
And these marks go up considerably, all the way up to 5.9 from the Russian judge.
That's the years of experience coming together.
And the standings after the pair's short program, Shen and Zhao from China in first, followed by Russian Shishkova, Naumov, and Ina Zimmerman from the United States. Coming up next, the ladies take the ice to begin their competition. It's 27-year-old Russian Maria Buterskaya, reigning world champion, going head-to-head in competition for the first time since Worlds, up against the 19-year-old freshman from UCLA, Michelle Kwan. And while in Green Bay earlier today, Michelle picked up some pointers from her new friend. We'll have that coming up.
The hands, the better it is, you see.
Before the Masters competition began, 10-year-old Brittany Favre got some skating lessons from her idol. It doesn't appear Brittany will be ready for a double axel yet. And it is a sure bet that the Packers front office will not be drafting Michelle soon as a backup to Brittany's dad, Brett Favre.
30 below trying to catch that.
Okay. Now, how do you make it spin like that?
Well, it's kind of like ice skating, I guess. You kind of got to be born with it a little bit.
Okay.
A little bit of balance.
Now, you've never skated before?
Never.
No, he couldn't even rollerblade, and it's much harder than rollerblading.
That's an axle, but it's easier.
Oh, it looks easy.
At the time we had a driveway, it was very steep, and so he was going to try to go down the driveway, and he got down, and he fell, and he never skated again. His rollerblades have spider webs on all of them.
And then you just go this way. Right. Oh, good.
Wait,
now you got to give me...
You do the dance, right?
There you go. I tell you what, you're better than half of our guys. They cannot dance. We try to tell them, look, you're football players, not dancers.
Packer backers, beware. Someday you might see Michelle Kwan at tight end for the Pack and Brett standing atop the podium at the World Championships.
Getting ready for the start of the ladies' short program, and it's worth 1/3 of the total mark. Roz, let's take a look at the elements.
Well, of the 8 required elements, of course, the key being the combination jump can be a triple-double or a triple-triple. Another triple or double jump after connecting steps. 3 different spins, 2 sequences, 1 of spirals, 1 of footwork, and a double axel.
And now the ladies' competition. Ladies and gentlemen, from the United States, Michelle Kwan.
First on the ice for the ladies' short program. 2-time world champion, currently second in the world. Here is 19-year-old Michelle Kwan. She's skating to music called A Day in the Life.
Michelle used that opening double axel as a warm-up for her combination, which is a triple Lutz double toe loop.
Triple is behind her, but here she wants this next triple, the triple toe loop. All the triples complete in this program.
And Peter, that is the triple she has been criticized on for not trying the harder one, the triple flip. She says this season she's going to try and incorporate it into the short program.
Taken a very challenging year. She's a freshman at UCLA, going to try to meet the demands of being a college student and win back her world title. Looks like it's working well so far.
Her mother actually told me juggling the new schedule really actually just takes a little bit of focus off of putting so much pressure on herself. And I'm actually finding she looks more relaxed.
It was the short program that hurt her at the World Championships when she lost her title to Maria Buterskaya. Clean short program here today for Michelle Kwan.
I think the reason she is relaxed is because she is so trained with repetition. She has great work ethic. She repeats her jumps many times in practice so that when she's under pressure, she can deal with it.
When you watch her skate, you never, ever get a feeling that she's going to miss anything. She makes you feel so calm, and right there on that triple Lutz, taking the time to step into the double toe, very sure of herself.
And that's because she has very sound jumping mechanics. Look how straight she is as she goes up into the air, and the landing is simply elementary when you do a jump like that.
And again, this is the jump that she's going to try and make harder throughout the season with a triple flip. She cannot play it safe if she wants that world title back.
Really got it.
Short program is worth 1/3 of the total mark. Michelle's required elements marks 5.8 across the board.
There were no mistakes. A very sound short program. A great way for her to start.
Second set of marks for presentation, 5.8, 5.9. And these marks put the pressure on the reigning world champion, Maria Buterskaya.
Six-time Russian champion, the current world champion, 27 years of age, Maria Buterskaya. And this is her first head-to-head competition with Michelle Kwan since Maria won her world title. Music and Ente D'Amour.
She knows there's no room for error. She has the triple Lutz double toe loop planned first. That's the same jump that Michelle Kwan did. Here it comes.
Good for her, because that wasn't even inconsistent in practice. Good for her. That's what she needs.
That's why she's world champion. Next triple, the triple loop, usually easy for her, and again it is.
And really, overcoming the nerves is what made Maria Buterskaya the world champion. Such an improvement, Peter. That we just saw, the triple, that is a harder triple than Michelle's triple toe.
Oh, a disastrous attempt on the double axel. That will really hurt her.
Just because you do the hard jumps, you cannot let up when it comes to the easy stuff in a short program.
And that's what Michelle Kwan learned at Worlds last year.
That could take 4/10 off of her mark.
Draw your attention to the music. You'll hear the voice. It's that of Sarah Brightman. Lyrics are not allowed in a short program, but because the voice is being used as an instrument, it is acceptable.
Vladimir Kotin says she gets more nervous for the short, but other than that one mistake on the double axel, I felt that was a very, very, very solid program for Maria.
What an unfortunate mistake. She really was actually out-jumping Michelle Kwan to that point.
And that is one of those mistakes, Peter. You just kind of hit your head like, what was that? Where did that come from? Silly. In a sport dominated by teenagers, Maria won her title at 26 years of age and became the oldest lady ever to win the world title. She was so solid going into this triple Lutz. She really just set herself up, and she got in the knees. That's what usually goes when Maria gets nervous. Nice landing on that double toe. And then again, this is the jump that's harder than Michelle's triple toe. And actually, it's one of the hardest triples to master because it comes off of an edge. You have to really be in the knees. Beautiful leg position in the air.
She was almost home free until this. The double axel, she does not take off the right part of the blade. The timing wasn't there, therefore she can't rotate, and that will prove to be very bad on the first mark for required elements, 0.4 of a point.
Maria waits for her marks with coach Vladimir Kotin. Again, the first set of marks will be for required element. And look at these, 5.3 to 5.5.
They really hammered her on that double axel, right down to a 5.3.
Presentation marks, and these go up 5.7 to 5.9.
As she hit the double axel, we would have seen marks like that on the first mark. She's got to be disappointed.
Second place marks for Maria Buterskaya. Two-time national champion of Japan, 1994 world champion, and she finished second in this event last year to Michelle Kwan. Here is Yuka Sato, skating to the Islay Maiden.
She may be known as a soft, lyrical skater, but she's a real fighter when it comes to the jump. She's had such command in practice, especially on this combination jump, triple loop, double toe. Nice. Yuka is skating much more solid this season, and she actually says skating pairs with her husband Jason has really helped her upper body strength. And yet, you never hear Yuka touch the ice. It feels like she never even really skates on the ice. She's so above it. Pairs with Jason Dungeon. Her husband, as Roz mentioned, has skated with him for 2 years. And he's a former partner of Kyoko Ina, who is also competing in this competition in the pairs event.
Lyrical and lovely, but more importantly, a clean performance. Yuka Sato from Japan.
Well, that's what it is about, is delivering the goods.
The pacing to this program was exceptional, especially with the pressure that you have to hit the required elements. And she handled it very well. That experience definitely coming to the front.
It's just so nice to see her take what she was doing in practice right onto the ice in competition. Such nice knee bend on the takeoff of that triple loop.
And then skating in with no hesitancy whatsoever. Very nice.
Wait now for the first set of marks for the required elements. 5.3 to 5.6.
5.6, 5.3.
Well, again, the sow is an easier jump than both Michelle's triple toe and Maria's triple loop.
5.9.
But these are exceptional, showing the quality within her skating. All young skaters around the world take note. She is an exceptional skater.
A great set of marks for Yuka and a warm hand from the audience.
Here's a look at the standings for the ladies' short program. Michelle Kwan on top, followed by Yuka Sato, Maria Buterskaya. For Yuka Sato's clean skate, she deserves this recognition from Dove. When we come back to Green Bay, it's the pair's interpretive free program.
Welcome back to Brown County Veterans Memorial Arena. The pairs are on the ice warming up for their interpretive program. Let's take a look now at the starting order. Americans Kyoko Ina and John Zimmerman will start things off, followed by Yevgeny Shishkova and Vadim Naumov of Russia. And winding up the field, Zhou Shen and Hongbo Zhao of China. The interpretive program is similar to what you would see in a professional competition. And Peter, let's take a look at some of the key rules.
Well, actually, the pressure of the short program is over. The pairs are not allowed to perform any solo triple jumps. Also, only 3 overhead lifts are allowed, and the choice of music is unrestricted. Really, the judges are looking for musicality and expression of the music and choreography.
It was a controversial silver medal win for Shen and Zhao at Worlds in '99. 2 judges, Ukrainian and Russian, were sanctioned for signaling to each other at the end of their performance. They were second to the Russian pair.
First on the ice in only their second year as a team, the 1999 U.S. silver medalists, 9th in the world. Here are Kyoko Ina and John Zimmerman. Their music is At the Beginning from Anastasia.
We were strangers, starting out on a journey, never dreaming what we'd have to go through. Now here we are.
One of the most difficult elements to learn as a pair skating team is the one coming up. It's called the split triple twist because the timing has to be just right. If it's a good one, the man puts the lady down nice and soft on the ice. Well done. They've improved that a lot.
When I lost hope, you were there to remind me this is the sign. Life is a road and I wanna keep going. Life is a road I wanna keep going. Life is a road now and forever, wonderful journey. I'll be there when the world starts turning. I'll be there when the storm is through. In the end, I wanna be standing at the beginning where
great speed. Their throw jump, the triple sow cow. Little touchdown with the hand.
Champions Berezhnaya and Sikrilidze in Hackensack, New Jersey with Tamara Moskvina. And after their 9th place finish at Worlds, they went back home and trained solidly for 5 months. The Russian pair skaters that they trained with said even they noticed an improvement. They're starting to come together as a team, Peter.
Very difficult to hold that position. He's in a spread eagle holding his partner over his head. That's the originality that Moskvina brings to the table. I asked Kyoko and John, what is it like to train with Kozakova, Dimitrov, and Berezhnaya and Sikrilidze? And they said, well, we're with the best, and we're learning so much just by watching.
We'll be back with their scores after this. Back at the Brown County Veterans Memorial Arena in Kyoko Ina and John Zimmerman waiting for their marks.
I think they've made great improvement with their unison, but Kyoko has always been an exceptional athlete when it comes to throws. However, there her back breaks and she touches the ice. You've got to have a very strong back to accommodate the force. And then this spread eagle. This is originality. This is different and unique, and Coach Moskvina really is good at pushing the envelope on things like this. Now, that's hard because he's in a spread eagle position, and to support his partner with her weight on his back in that position, difficult to do.
5.6.
And the first set of marks for skating techniques. 5.5 to 5.7.
5.5.
All respectable marks, but they definitely can improve on just some of the basics in pair skating to get those up.
5.7.
Presentation marks 5.6 and 1.57.
Again, all fine.
5.6. Ladies and gentlemen, from Russia, Evgenia Shishkova and Vadim Naumov.
On the ice now, a husband and wife team won the World Championships in 1994. Evgenia Shishkova and Vadim Naumov of Russia. They skate to music from trance opera portraying clowns.
Lady has to really trust the man to throw her just right in the air so she can land the triple, and that was a very nice one. he catches her. Sets her down very nicely. That shows control. You see a position change like that, to invent that change, you have to try it separate from the spin just to get it in place. And then you put all of the changes together, so it takes a lot of practice to get that.
This program, choreographed by world champion ice dancer Alexander Zulin. Judges are looking to see that the skaters do original footwork moves, watching to see how they interpret their music. Moves like that get great marks for originality.
That would not be allowed in Olympic eligible free programs because he's holding her blade, but here in the interpretive free program, it's fine. I really liked it.
They didn't stop.
Well, it was a very good program because there was a lot of expression throughout the style, and the quality and the difficulty of the elements combined was fine. Also, there's something in there that has to do with how the music skates the couple or the skater. And I think they really captured the character very well.
Two-time Olympians, Yevgenia Shishkova and Vadim Naumov. And we will see their scores when we return. Back in Green Bay, Shishkova and Naumov of Russia wait for their scores.
Really great characters within the music. But this was quite impressive. The split triple twist, the rotation is fine. Watch the catch, and he really sets her down with great control, showing strength. And this is extremely original. Watch, he'll grab her hands and then press her up without any help from her. That's hard because her jump does not assist the lift.
5.7.
And now the first set of marks for skating techniques. 5.6 up to 5.8.
5.8.
Good marks for the skating techniques, but I really think that their presentation was
the marks for presentation
very good.
5.
And Peter, the judges agree with you. High marks of 5.9 for Shishkova and Naumov.
5.9.
Leaders after the short program from China, Zhuai Zhen and Hongbo Zhao. They will skate to music from the soundtrack of Mulan.
Are not allowed to do solo triple jumps in the interpretive free program. So you can see just easy doubles for them. Ordinarily they would do triples, not in this format. triple twist lift. Again, every time I see this, it just blows my mind, the height and the distance across the ice, about 20 feet that he throws her.
Is familiar to you. It is the music that they skated to at the World Championships. This was their long program, but they have reworked it to fit in with the rules. At the World Championships, they skated out of themselves in the long program. Many people thought they should have won, but they did create quite a judging controversy because two judges were caught communicating with each other on the panel while they were waiting for their marks. Those two judges, Russian and Ukrainian judges, have been suspended from competition. But you can see, Peter, that they're not used to doing interpretive programs, and this is really the area that they have to work on.
And they have focused on that this year, but they do have a way to go. Mistake on that lift that could have been terrible, but he saved her. Trace, with all the hype we have given the Chinese here, they have been a little rough around the edges. Small little mistakes have taken away from their excellence here in both the short program and the interpretive free program. It could be anything from jet lag to just not feeling comfortable, but not their best.
Not their best at all. It's early in the season for these two. They'll be working to peak at Worlds, and they've got a ways to go. 20-year-old Shen and her 26-year-old partner, Hongbo Zhao of China.
This had great height. Look at the release, and then a nice set down. And then I cannot get over how far across the ice she travels, and then the strong back and legs she needs to have such a controlled landing. She's very strong, and the timing is great there. However, the timing was not good here. This is a difficult takeoff because usually the man's going backwards, and his toe picks can stop him. However, he misses it, and the leg kicks out. That could have been disastrous. She could have landed and really hurt herself. A very close call.
And now the marks for Shen and Zhao. China, first set of marks. Low marks, Peter.
Well, they just were not sharp in this interpretive free program. And they really need to improve their style and get their unison a little bit better to be stronger in these competitions.
These marks amount to disaster for the world silver medalists. And they are only good enough for third place. They have dropped from first to third in the interpretive program.
Off to a poor start this season for the Chinese pair. Shen and Zhao finished third. strong performance by Americans Kyoko Ina and John Zimmerman. They finished second. And the winners of the Masters Pairs event, Shishkova and Naumov of Russia. When we come back, Michelle Kwan will cheer on her countryman, Todd Eldridge. The men's competition next.
Something like a phenomenon. 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 Something like a phenomenon.
And the order of skate for the men's interpretive free program, and our first look at Brian Orser of Canada, consummate professional. All eyes are on the current world champion, 19 years of age, Alexei Yagudin of Russia. He will go head-to-head against the leader at this point, Todd Eldridge.
Hello, everybody. I'm Tracy Wilson, along with Rosalind Sumners and Peter Carruthers. And just before the men get started, let's take a moment and look back at the short programs. And, Roz, I'd like to know your thoughts on the ladies.
Well, Michelle Kwan, of course, delivered the goods. A cool, confident, short program as usual. I'm actually feeling that without the world title pressure, she's feeling a little bit relaxed. She's a little more now in an underdog position. It's Maria Butrskaya who has come out with an attitude of the world title, sort of a catch me now if you can. But Yuka Sato, she's the one that surprised us all with a really clean, solid short program. She's now sitting in second, so that's added to Maria's fight.
Well, and surprise in the men's short program also, Peter, with the world champion sitting in second place after
Absolutely, the 19-year-old world champion, Alexei Yagudin, in second place because he made a big mistake on his triple axel combination. And guess who stepped up to the plate and nailed his? That was Todd Eldridge, 28 from the United States. So I am surprised because I didn't think Todd was going to be able to hang in there with the big guns. But guess what? He can hang in there with the big guns technically. And now with the interpretive free program, Todd Eldridge usually can elevate his performance with an audience. So I think that's going to play out well for him. Yagudin's a good performance skater in competition. But don't forget about Kurt Browning. He is the pro's pro. So what an interesting mix going into this part.
Todd has been out of world-level competition for 1 year, but he still retains his eligible status in the hope of competing at the next Winter Olympics. He freely admits to being in skating's gray area.
For right now, you know, I'm definitely going to try and keep the eligibility, whatever I have to do to keep it. You know, and you know, things may change. I mean, 2 years away is the Olympics. You know, that's a long time. You know, lots of things could happen. You know, injuries and different things can kind of force you into one decision or another. And, you know, I'm just kind of trying to keep some of those decisions a little simpler and just saying, okay, I'm going to stick on this track and hopefully, you know, I can, like I said, stay healthy and follow it through to Salt Lake City.
An interesting situation, but so far so good with Todd Eldridge leading the short program. The concern is by not being in the thick of things, that is the Olympic eligible skating week in and week out of competitions, do you lose the edge a little bit? Well, so far Todd apparently hasn't.
Especially in the area of competing against the professionals. And so the interpretive program will be a great place for Todd to skate. Let's take a look at some of the rules. The major rule here is that 4 different jumps with 3 or more revolutions is the maximum. That's all that you're allowed to do. And remember, this is where the judges are looking at artistry and how the skaters perform to the music. First in the men's competition, at 37 years of age, he's the elder statesman. Here is Brian Orser of Canada, trying to put a disastrous short program behind him. He's skating to Ed Tide by the Righteous Brothers.
he's going to try is the triple sow, which he did not complete in the short program. Beautiful. See, that's the attack you want.
Like the coming tide with one burn and thought, will your arms open wide?
Here's some great choreography. Watch the backflip, and he'll go right into a triple toe, right on the money.
Peter, he has trained so hard for this event. It gets harder and harder every year. As we said, he's the elder statesman. And Peter, as you know, there comes a time in all of our lives, in all of our careers, where you have to make the decision, can I still be competitive enough? And I think that time is getting close for Brian. It's a very hard decision to make.
And he's one of the few pros that will go in these open competitions because of the dreaded short program. Very courageous. Last year at this event, he finished third, skated beautifully. Two-time Olympic silver medalist, world champion, Brian Orser. We'll have his marks right after this. And Brian Orser of Canada waits for his marks from the judges.
You know, it's very hard. You can play mind games with yourself if you know you're not up to the technical ability of the other skaters you're competing with, and yet he nailed that first triple sow. Again, he came back after missing it in the short program.
This is great choreography right here. Look at the backflip, and then he'll go right up into the triple toe loop. Outstanding. Don't forget, he's almost 20 years older
The marks for
than
skating
Alexei
technique.
Yagudin, the defending world champion.
5.6.
First set of marks from Brian Orser. 5.6 is across the board.
Again, he's saying, okay, he knows that those are good for him. He really did do the best of his own ability.
The marks for presentation, 5.7.
And his presentation marks, 5.7s, 1.58.
I got to tell you, he made a couple of little mistakes, but for the most part, those are very good marks for presentation. He is a master.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Canada, Kurt Browning.
He has skated as a professional for 6 years. 3 times he's won the World Professional Championships. Here is Kurt Browning of Canada, skating to music from the Tragically Hip.
Nobody can make a simple spread eagle as effective as Kurt.
so great about that? The timing to the music, the way it just paced through so perfectly.
This is a very comfortable program for Kurt. He's performed it a lot, choreographed by Sandra Bezic. This program is really in his blood, which will help when it comes to the elements like this right here.
Judges are looking for a variety of expressive and innovative moves, interpretation of the music, and rhythm.
Oh, so well timed out to the music. He can interpret any kind of music because he's that versatile.
But he said, I want it in there this season. This footwork. Not a difficult step, but the way he gets into that double axel off the footwork sure is.
Four-time world champion from Canada, Kurt Browning. Doesn't get much better than that.
What a dancer on the ice. Gene Kelly on stage, Michael Flatley on stage, Jose Greco, the flamenco dancer, and Kurt Browning, the skater, the dancer on ice.
You know, Peter, as a skater and a performer, it's important to use both the touring and the competing throughout your season. You really feed one with the other. Kurt said he lost momentum last year not being on tour, but I'm starting to feel that it's coming back. Look at that easy double axel over the boards.
And what the judges appreciate is the way he interpreted that to the music. Here's the footwork coming down the ice. The reason it's not hard is because the feet aren't turning. He's not changing directions. But watch this. It gets harder because he steps right up into a great trip, a double axel. Well done, Kurt Browning. What phrasing to the music.
The marks for skating
and now the first set of marks for Kurt.
5.8.
5.7s and 5.8s.
5.7.
Again, those can reflect on the fact that he's not doing the harder triples. He did a sow and a toe. He needs the axle or the flip.
The marks
well, with two skaters still to come, these 5.9s don't leave a lot of room.
Gotta love the presentation, Mark. This is everything. Choreography, creativity, it's all there. How you project to the audience, he's got it all.
First place mark so far from the judges and a nice hand from this audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Russia, Alexei Yagudin.
He's in second place after the short program. Only 19 years of age. Here's Alexei Yagudin. His music is from the Broken Arrow soundtrack.
He struggled in the short program on the triple axel combination. He won't do that in combination here. However, he will go for the triple axel. Here it is. To the moon. Another triple, the triple flip. Now, this is the triple that he was practicing and doing one more rotation. Going for the quad, he's getting really close.
Alexei has had a difficult year. He's on probation from the Russian Federation. He was asked to leave a major tour this year because of inappropriate behavior linked to a drinking problem. He said the pressure of trying to retain his title and trying to get used to life in the USA has really been tough for him.
And you know, Tracy, all that negative publicity, and he said he was partying too much. You forget, he is only 19 years old. He won the world. He did. He wanted to relax, have some fun. It was just taken the wrong way and got out of hand. Maintains the same speed and power all the way to the very end of the program. It never lets up.
You know, Kurt Browning brought up a good point about Alexei Yagudin. He said, look at my tapes when I was 19. That is Kurt Browning. He said, look at Alexei Yagudin at 19. Not only is he a great technician of jumps, but he really can express himself as a skater. And I think that shows a lot how these open competitions have really helped the Olympic eligibles perform in competition.
He's a two-time world champion, Alexei Yagudin from Russia, and we will have his marks right after this. Alexei Yagudin and his coach, Tatyana Tarasova, sit and wait for his marks.
Tatyana Tarasova also coached Ilya Kulik, and she said they both have very different styles. Ilya is very closed, Yagudin is very open, and he's a perfectionist. Look at that triple axel.
He's also got a lot of strength in that right leg to support his weight and be in that low crouch position. He is very, very strong. Incredible explosive energy.
Well, Yagudin says that everyone's been really unfriendly to him since he won his world title, and Tatyana Tarasova really right now is the only friend he has in the world. They're very close.
The marks for skating techniques. 5.9.
First set of marks for Alexei.
5.8.
5.9's 1.58.
Boy, right off the bat, he has really put down some big marks. This is going to be a tough one for Eldridge to beat, even though Todd's in first.
Todd Eldridge is on the ice watching these marks as we speak. 5.8's 1.59 for Alexei Yagudin.
Well deserved.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the United States, Todd Eldridge.
Todd Eldridge sitting in first place for the moment. He was the winner of this competition last year, 5-time U.S. champion. He's skating to the glory from Civil War.
And it's a classic, usually followed by a standing ovation. Triple loop. Perfectly straight.
You can say that Todd's skating might not have a lot of flair, but when he's on, he's got that reliable strength and confidence. And his skating just puts the audience and judges at ease. You end up enjoying the program that much more. Judges have to get really picky if they're going to start comparing a triple axel. And yes, that actually was bigger than Yagudin's. Hard to believe. Peter, I guess he's shutting us up if we think he's lost any kind of competitive edge, not wanting to skate at the Nationals or Worlds this season. Boy.
Important jump, triple Lutz. Gets through it.
no better finish to the men's event than a performance like that and an ovation like this one. So well deserved. He started with that pace of the program and it just carried all the way through. Never let up. Unbelievable.
And talk about music that really suits a skater. He brought the character out within the music with great jumps, and the timing that those jumps had to the music was fantastic.
Like we said, this triple axel covers the entire, the ice just goes so far. It's unbelievable. Again, picking up speed. Such an easy takeoff. Amazing.
You know what it says to me? That the 28-year-old is not going to give up just because there's a 19-year-old pushing him. And the spins that he has in his library of spins are all fast, perfectly centered, and very well done.
The marks for skating
And now
techniques.
the marks for Todd Eldridge.
5.8,
First set,
5.9,
2 5/8s, 3 5/9s.
5.9.
Those are huge.
5.9.
Bigger marks than Yagudin's.
The marks for presentation.
And here are the second
5.9,
set.
5.9,
5/9s with 1 5/8.
5.9.
Man, did he step up tonight?
And stepped up enough. He has retained his title and once again wins the Masters. Todd Eldridge finishes in first place. An appreciative crowd cheers him on. In second place, current world champion Alexei Yagudin of Russia, followed by Kurt Browning and Brian Orser. Now let's go backstage to D-Lineham.
We just saw 2 awesome performances, and I'll begin with you, Alexei, because earlier we watched you do the quad. None of these other guys are doing the quad out there. Then you come out with your interpretive free, and you're really putting some pressure on Todd when he's coming out after you. Did you feel like you did that?
No, I don't think so, because in our life we competed so many times, so we know each other very well, and I think I didn't.
The interpretive free, you liked bringing the audience in. You seemed to play to them. Did you feel like, they were really involved in your skate?
Yeah, actually the crowd worked so well tonight, and just want to say thanks a lot for them, for helping us.
Thank you. Todd, he skates so well, you have to come out and skate almost perfectly, and he is that 19-year-old that is pushing you. Did you feel pressure when you took the ice?
I didn't feel pressure so much from Alexei. I knew he went out there and skated well by his marks, but, I just went out there and I had, to let myself go out and do a great performance, and it's up to the judges after that, so.
We talk about your limbo stage that you're in right now, but when you do go out and perform like you just did, does it make you want to be stay eligible?
Well, that's part of the reason why I've done it. I can still go out there and do stuff like that. So, and every time I do that, it makes me, think that much further ahead to 2002.
Thanks so much. Most enjoyable to watch.
Thanks.
American Todd Eldridge brings the house down with his performance and wins his second Masters title. When we come back, the ladies will take the ice. Russian Maria Buterskaya head-to-head against American Michelle Kwan.
Shake your bum bum, 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 shake your bum bum. I'm a desperado underneath your window. I see a silhouette to you, my Julia. I feel a mad connection with your body. Shake your bum bum, shake your bum bum, shake your bum bum. We'll go around the world in a day. Around the world we'll do the fandango. Shake your bum bum, 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 baby.
American ladies have been shaking up the world of figure skating for some time now, and that leads us to the Aflac trivia question. How many American ladies have won Olympic gold in singles figure skating? We'll have the answer coming up.
Back in Green Bay, Wisconsin for the Masters of Figure Skating. And the ladies are on the ice warming up for their interpretive free program. Let's take a look now at the competitors, starting with Katerina Gordieva, and she's in 5th after the short program.
Well, Katya really had a rough short program. She never really seems to get her legs under her. She doesn't feel comfortable competing. She certainly doesn't have the technical ability of the other skaters here. She's been working on some pairs with Ilya Kulik, and I tell you, it feels like that's still where her heart really is. She really seems to struggle on the jumps. Angela Nikodinov, now she's the one who has a lot to learn. These events are giving her a lot of experience. There are 4 top skaters going for 3 slots for the World Championships at the Nationals, and she's got a lot to prove to get on that national podium.
And there's Maria Butrskaya. Well, since we're in Packer territory, we all know that the Packers never give up a tough fight. Well, that's what Maria Butrskaya does so well, too. She will put up a good fight. In fact, she rides on a fight, and she never quits. And what I like about her is that if she makes a mistake, she can regain her composure and get it back again. A true champion that she is.
Yuka Sato, now she is a complete skater. Each year she improves. She is also skating pairs with husband Jason Dungeon, and she says that that's really helping her solo skating. Now she won the World Professional Championship the first year that she was a professional, but since then so many skaters are entering these competitions that are just continually pushing her. She had an amazing short program. She's putting the pressure on the other skaters today, and of course that one skater on the top, Michelle Kwan. Now every time she steps on the ice is the same. It doesn't matter if it's a competition or an exhibition. She is so intense. She is a perfectionist. She does not let up.
Since Michelle has yet to receive a call from the Packers, her life away from skating can be found as a UCLA freshman. It's her first time living away from home.
My life has changed so dramatically in the last few months. I'm at school now. So I've got the whole school experience, and I'm trying to juggle school and skating at the same time. I'm not able to skate as much as I want to, but I've got homework now, so now I'm staying up till like 2 o'clock studying in front of my computer going, I've got to finish this paper, I've got midterms coming up, and it's a lot of things in my mind.
Michelle says she just loves feeling normal and like one of the gang at UCLA, hoping to bring a new dimension to her skating as she looks ahead to Salt Lake. And now time for the answer of our Aflac trivia question. 6 American ladies have won Olympic gold. It was Tenley Albright in 56, Tara Lipinski in 98.
Ladies and gentlemen,
now,
from Russia,
two-time Olympic pairs champion
Gordieva.
with her late husband. She has embarked on a solo career, but has not been able to compete for over a year because of back problems. Here is Ekaterina Gordieva. She is skating too fragile. That is what Katya missed in the short program. I've actually been watching her practices in the last few weeks, even at home, and she is the strongest I've ever seen her. And really, now as a solo skater, she's opening up more to her audience. She's relating more to them. She still keeps a little bit of a wall up, but she sure is out there much more than before.
Nothing comes from violence and nothing ever could. For all those born beneath an angry sun. Lest we forget how fragile we are. On and on.
When Ekaterina tours this year, she'll be back on familiar ground when she will get a chance to do pairs again with the reigning Olympic champion, Ilya Kulik, who is also her boyfriend.
Well, the ease and flow that she has across the ice is really very good, and that came from so many years of pair skating. The power she generates and makes it look so easy while she's skating. Very well done.
Her daughter Daria is now 7 years of age and has decided not to follow in her mother's footsteps and become a figure skater. She much prefers gymnastics. 28 years of age, Ekaterina Gordieva. We'll be back with remarks after this. Ekaterina Gordieva in the kiss and cry area. She waits for her marks.
This is the double axel that gives Katya a lot of trouble. If she's not centered over the front part of the blade on this takeoff, it's trouble, but she was perfectly on position this time.
And a very beautiful position throughout this layback. When you first learn to do that, you feel like the world is just completely upside down. It really takes some time to get used to spinning like that. But for now, it's second nature for her.
The marks for skating technique.
First set of marks for Ekaterina. And Roslyn, these range from 5.3 to 5.6.
Well, again, she doesn't have the technical content that the other skaters have. She did a nice double axel. She attempted the triple, didn't even really finish the rotation. That's where they kill her on that first mark.
Presentation marks go up, all the way up, 5.7. Right across the board, and that's enough to move Ekaterina Gordieva into first place at this point. Out on the ice now, in first place after the short program, looking more relaxed and comfortable than I've seen in a long time. Here is Michelle Kwan. Her music is Kissing You, and it's the love theme from the motion picture Romeo and Juliet.
Well, you could have heard a pin drop in this building. That's what Michelle does. She mesmerizes her audience, including us, Peter.
Absolutely. You know, I saw her in the parking lot. We were talking about skating a little bit, but when we started talking about UCLA, she was completely animated. And I think that continuing her education is making her more well-rounded as an individual, and that's showing up on the ice. Kudos to her for going back to school. This triple Lutz, textbook perfect. A little bit late on the landing. That is her checkout wasn't quite on time, but nice.
You'll see this layback start out in a normal layback position. I mean by that, the attitude leg is quite high. Now watch how the leg goes down, meets the skating, spinning leg, and yet her back stays perfectly in the same position. It's very difficult. A lot of control.
And of course, the tremendous extension that she has on the arabesque position, not afraid to really feel the music and pace herself very slowly through this wonderful interpretive free program.
The mark for skating techniques.
And now the first set of marks for Michelle Kwan. Peter, 5'8", 159.
5.8.
You got to be pretty happy with that. They're cheering back in LA right now, that's for sure.
The marks for presentation, 5.9.
Second set of marks. And here's a perfect 6 for Michelle Kwan, her 41st perfect 6. We'll be back with Maria Buterskaya after this. Maria Buterskaya is in 3rd place after the short program. Ready now for her interpretive free program. It's to the music of Habanera, and it was choreographed by Maria Buterskaya. Well, nobody knows yourself better than yourself. And like you said, Tracy, choreographing this number, that is, I have so much respect for that. This is the opening with the triple Lutz.
Oh, boy.
When she misses it big time.
Really nice triple loop jump. See, that's the part that I'm talking about. She makes a mistake and then gets it right back again.
She has said that her life has always forced her to prove that she's worth something. For many years, she was told by her federation either she was too old or didn't have potential, and because of that was left out of some of the elite training groups. But she said, my character is such that I get twice as mad, and I say, fine, I'll show you. And she did just that last year at Worlds.
Scramble in the long program. Her concentration goes in and out. That was the one thing she did do at the Helsinki Worlds, was she mastered those nerves. Feels like they're back. Don't forget, it's also very hard to skate after a 6.0 performance.
She knows it. That character within the music is great, but with those falls, it just mars the performance. Wasn't her night.
Disappointed Maria Buterskaya of Russia. She knows that will not be nearly enough to catch Michelle.
Sometimes she hits it, sometimes she doesn't. Well, tonight she didn't, and that's because when she goes to take off, she doesn't get the knee bend and doesn't even get high enough to complete the rotation. Way off on that.
Well, your knees definitely go when the nerves come into play, but she was able to hang on to that triple loop. Nice.
When she gets nervous, she gets stiff, and you don't bend your knees enough to get up into the air and get the power you need to complete the rotation, so that's part of the problem.
This is the feeling you hate right here, coming off and saying, can I just go back out there and do it again, please? Or I've done it a million times in practice. And again,
What a range in the marks. From 5.4 all the way up to a 5.8.
Wow.
I definitely don't agree with the 5.8, huh, Trace?
The high mark.
For presentation, 5.8.
Presentation marks from 5.9 to 5.6. When we come back, Yuka Sato will take the ice.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Japan, Yuka Sato.
We're back in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Final competitor is on the ice. Here is the 1994 world champion. She's sitting in second place after the short program. Yuka Sato. She will skate to summertime.
Not just any summertime either. It's by Janis Joplin, choreographed by Alan Schramm. This is a very different look for Yuka. We're used to seeing her much softer and sort of prettier. This is a real push for her, but it works.
Triple, oh, she was supposed to do a triple toe loop there, but only a single.
She's skating very slow into her jumps, not the attack we saw in the short program.
Too much hesitation. You got to attack, you can't hold back.
Any doubt and you're dead.
Baby, 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 baby. No, 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 don't you cry. Don't you cry.
She hasn't done a triple yet. She wants the triple sow cow, finally.
Yuka is what we call a skater, and when she's practicing, you watch the other skaters in the arena all stop. They have a tremendous amount of respect for just how good she is technically, but this performance is not indicative of all of what she's capable of.
You're gonna spread your wings. Shout and take to the sky.
It's like it took her till the end of the program to finally get her legs under her. That does happen. Sometimes there's really no reason for it. It's very frustrating.
Nothing's going to harm you now. Na 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 na
What you're referring to, Tracy, is the way she moves across the ice on basic things like the crossovers. That's the step that gets you from one jump to the next. Those are all so well done, the basic skating, but the jumps for her fell apart because of her timing tonight. She played with her timing before these jumps. Could it be nerves or just not feeling good?
Yuka Sato was second in this competition last year.
I felt she was going very slow into this, and again, she never got down. She rushed the takeoff. Before she was even in position, she started to take off. That's just a lapse in concentration.
But the double axel did come back. A very easy move for her to perform.
Also, Peter, all her moves in the program have connecting steps in between. There's not a lot of plain skating with Yuka's programs.
Thank you.
There is her husband, Jason Dungeon.
Skating techniques.
And a first set of marks for Yuka Sato. Rosalind from 5.3 up to 5.8.
A 5.8 for two single jumps. I mean, she didn't even complete a double. I completely don't understand the 5.8.
Second set of marks for presentation. 5.6 up to 5.9.
5.6, 5.8, 5.6.
So Michelle Kwan wins the Masters competition for the second time. The current world champion from Russia, Maria Buterskaya, has to settle for second. It's a disappointing third place for Yuka Sato of Japan. She's followed by Ekaterina Gordieva and American Angela Nikodinov. We'll talk to Michelle when we come back. We're back in Green Bay for the Masters of Figure Skating. Let's join Dee Lynam.
I am backstage with the winner, Michelle Kwan. And Michelle, this was billed up as the Maria-Michelle rematch. Do you think it came out that way?
Well, I never think about a rematch or competing against someone. I'm always out there. You know, it's an individual sport, and I'm out there alone. So I went out there and just had fun, and it was good.
All right, so you come to Title Town, you win a title, the second one in a row here, the Masters. You meet Brett Favre, and now you go back to school. What are they going to be saying on the UCLA campus on Monday?
Well, I can go to everyone and go, I met Brett Favre. Ah. No, but it was an awesome experience, and my brother is going to be very jealous.
Very jealous. Last thing, because we make a big deal about you balancing school and skating, but what is your secret in a nutshell just to keeping it as stress-free as possible?
Well, right now I have a paper due on Monday and a midterm, so I don't want to go home. Can you keep on talking to me for a while? But yeah, it gets a little tough at times. I have to pull all-nighter sometimes, and it's hard to skate after not getting any sleep, but I'm trying.
Well, you did a great job doing that this weekend. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Sleep or no sleep, Michelle definitely was successful on the ice and at the receiving end of a Brett Favre slant pattern. Some final words when we return.
Masters of Figure Skating on TNT has been brought to you by Dove Nutrium. It goes beyond moisturizing to nourish more than any other body wash. By Pfizer, we're not just looking for cures for the future, we're going to find them. Pfizer, life is our life's work. By Northland, always 100% juice. And by Neutrogena T-Gel Shampoo. It works.
It appears that change has been good for Michelle Kwan, college freshman, world-class figure skater. She wears it well.
The ladies are on the ice now. It's time for their awards ceremony. Rosalind and Peter, I'd just like to get your final thoughts on the competition. Peter, terrific men's event.
Oh my gosh, it was so great to see the 28-year-old take out the 19-year-old. Todd Eldridge takes out the defending world champion. To me, it proves that he can get back in the Olympic-eligible environment and compete with these guys.
Rosalind, it wasn't much of a matchup in the women's event between Maria Buterskaya and Michelle Kwan, but Michelle looked awesome.
Well, you can hear from this audience that Michelle is always the favorite. After the short program, we thought it was going to be very close. They all laid down very solid programs, but unfortunately in the long, they all started to fall apart, whether it was nerves or, again, if it was just the fact that they were competing against Michelle, who was always cool, calm, perfect.
The Masters competition has kicked off TNT's figure skating coverage. Our next special presentation will be the Canadian Open, December 15th and 16th. Highlighted there will be four-time world champion Kurt Browning of Canada. Once again, he will meet the Masters champion Todd Eldridge of the United States. They will go up against three-time world champion Elvis Stojko. For Dee Lynham, Rosalind Sumners, Peter Carruthers, I'm Tracy Wilson. Goodbye from Titletown, USA.